Russia is calling for an urgent summit of the 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council as tensions escalate across the Middle East. Russian Foreign Minister Sergey Lavrov says the current global situation makes it the right moment to revive President Vladimir Putin's proposal for a meeting of the world's major powers. In an interview with Russia's Rossiya 1 television channel, Lavrov said the idea of a summit involving the permanent members of the Security Council had been proposed by President Putin several years ago, even before the COVID-19 pandemic. Lavrov said the worsening geopolitical climate now makes such a meeting more necessary than ever. The proposed summit would bring together the 5 permanent members of the Security Council: Russia, the United States, China, France, and the United Kingdom. According to Moscow, the goal would be to discuss global stability and address mounting security challenges around the world. Lavrov also said Russia believes the United States must explain its strategic plans to the international community. He argued that Washington should clarify how its current actions align with international norms and the principles that previously guided global security arrangements. The call comes as tensions rise sharply in West Asia, following U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iranian targets and Tehran's subsequent retaliatory attacks across the region. The conflict has triggered fears of a wider confrontation involving several global powers. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said the current crisis demonstrates how fragile the international system has become. He warned that international law is increasingly losing its effectiveness as conflicts intensify and geopolitical rivalries deepen. Peskov said this deteriorating global environment underlines the need to revisit President Putin's proposal for a summit of the P5 nations. According to the Kremlin, only direct dialogue between the world's major powers can help prevent further instability. With conflicts intensifying across multiple regions and relations between major powers increasingly strained, Russia says the proposed summit could become a key platform for addressing global security risks and preventing the current crises from spiraling further.
Through their irresponsible and utterly reckless actions, Washington and Tel Aviv bevas empeña I'll permit myself this, perhaps not a strictly international legal phrase, but one that clearly defines the situation. They commit lawlessness, grossly violating the norms and principles of international and humanitarian law, plunging the region ever deeper into chaos. The international community is absolutely obliged. It simply cannot, it must not, it is truly bound to provide this with an objective and, what is no less critically important, an uncompromising assessment. Russia most decisively condemned another dangerous venture of the US-Israeli tandem against the Islamic Republic, the treacherous murder of the head of the Iranian state, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei Shah, and several high-ranking military political leaders of that country. Our principled position is outlined in relevant statements by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, speeches at UN Security Council meetings, and the IAEA Board of Governors special session. It is consistently conveyed in regular contacts with foreign partners at all levels, including the highest. We advocate for an immediate cessation of all hostilities and a return to the political and diplomatic process with the aim of resolving all existing problems based on the Charter of the United Nations and the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. Nuclear weapons, while ensuring the security interest of all states in the region. There is absolutely no doubt that the supposed, as has been repeatedly demonstrated, it has been asserted for many years, that the fabricated Iranian threat was merely a pretext for the implementation of a long-standing, deeply conceived plan for the violent overthrow of the constitutional, I emphasize, system of government in a sovereign state deemed undesirable by Washington and Tel Aviv. Again, I stress within the United Nations framework. We note that Iran's legitimate authorities maintain control of the situation in the country, preventing chaos, a power vacuum, and a humanitarian crisis. Nevertheless, the military campaign unleashed against Iran entails the gravest consequences for the civilian population and infrastructure, as well as for the regional and global economy. Air communication has been interrupted, logistical supply chains have been severely disrupted, the delivery of energy resources has been destabilized, and their prices have literally soared upwards. Iran's nuclear facilities are once again coming under attack, which not only harms the global non-proliferation regime, but also poses very serious radiological risks. These are the real ones, not just theoretical risks on paper, but actual dangers on the ground. The renewed negotiation process has become nothing more than a cover-up operation. Is there truly any innovation in this? No, there isn't. For so many years, we have been observing how these negotiation processes have been consistently used for precisely this purpose, either as a convenient cover for plans aimed at the overthrow and subsequent change of existing regimes, or as a strategic cover for plans involving the militarization of various specific countries, or indeed to effectively conceal plans for the deliberate escalation of ongoing conflicts. In Washington, they make no secret of it, and now they even speak about it quite openly, that they are pursuing, and this is a direct quote, regime change in Iran. The trigger for these dramatic events was the failed scenario of a color revolution, which opponents of the Islamic Republic unsuccessfully attempted to impose on Iranian society in January of this year. We are deeply concerned by the latest statements from the United States administration about their stated aim to prolong military actions as it has been articulated until what they call American interests are guaranteed. Our colleagues at the embassy in Tehran, as well as the consulates general located in Isfahan and Rasht, are bravely continuing to fulfill their official duties, despite, to put it mildly, the extremely difficult conditions determined by the current wartime situation. Of particular danger are the missile and bomb strikes, which are being carried out in very close proximity to our diplomatic missions. As you know, on March 2nd, rockets exploded within half a kilometer of the embassy and trade mission. We demand an end to such egregious incidents and security guarantees for our foreign missions, as well as other civilian facilities where our specialists are employed. Washington and Tel Aviv have been officially notified of their location.